All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back. And don't forget to purchase your wrestling merchandise, action figures of the whole shebang, even the t-shirts. As he even said, fuck yeah. He said that. You heard that at the wrestling guy store. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, let them know. Let David Gomez know that Circle the Mate sent you. You get 10% off. 10%. 10, ladies and gentlemen, to all of our audio platform listeners and to our YouTube subscribers and viewers. All the descriptions right below. Where can you go? Where can you locate them? And you can shop online. So do that. Yes, there you go. Now let's get into it, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get into the dark cloud that we've been wanted to talk about, because now it was a disaster with the last 48 hours that what we have heard and it was true, was a rumor, and then all of this became fruition. And wow, as now we're talking about the releases, not the releases that happened in the Stamford, Connecticut, in WWE office, corporate office. 60 employees were let go from different departments. And also we had another set of professional wrestlers being let go. So I'll announce those names. Santana Garrett from NXT and a SoCal native. Love her very much. If you're not familiar with her, go back, go to Championship Wrestling in Hollywood, go back to Bar Wrestling, go back to her independent promotion she's done in Southern California. Top performer. Love her to death, but was underutilized, unfortunately. And also, we had Buddy Murphy, another underutilized individual who was let go. And another individual that was let go as well, underutilized. And now this women's tag team division means nothing in the main roster. That is Ruby Riott to be let go. And also another one, the unexpected that was improving, who took all the bombshells, who was getting her ass whooped table by table by table every week, and Lana was improving in the ring. Another one that was released. The shockingest ones, Aleister Black, who just came back and was starting this new persona, this new character, the Father Black figure, and was let go. And then you had Braun Strowman. Everybody was in shock of all of this list of people that were let go. And because of these reasons, there's more budget cuts coming. These budget cuts are happening, ladies and gentlemen. And also, they announced there's more coming in the NXT, more in the main roster. NXT UK is coming. So all of these cuts are happening very, very soon. So I really give my condolences. Not like that, excuse me. But if it's unfortunate that all these individuals lost their jobs. Some people were happy, that some people were not, because of course they wanted to see them different promotions, which we all do. Obviously, we want them to succeed. We want them to keep on, to work, to have a job. And someone on Twitter earlier today, yesterday as well, was, they fired Braun Strowman. Why did they let go of King Corbin? King Corbin respond. Like, that is really shady as fuck for you to wish someone to lose their job. And it is, honestly. And I'm going to say it right now, you fucking marks. And excuse my language. These are human beings. Because these are human beings that work their asses off to be where they're at. They start from the bottom to scratch to the top of the peak of the mountain for them to get where they're at, regardless if they're not the greatest in the ring, but they have the greatest charisma, they have the greatest mic skills, but they got that character. They worked their asses off to get where they're at. And for you to wish people to lose their job, F you, because that's pathetic. That's unhuman for you to do and for you to say, to wish anybody else that to lose their job. That's very inhuman of you guys. For you all, marks, and I know if we do have that, like I said, you need to respect and understand that it's just a character that is presented to you on television. But do not ever wish anyone bad at all of a human being who has worked their ass off from 9 to 5 to get where they're at this moment. Never do that, because karma is a bitch. I'm telling you that right now. Karma's a bitch. So with all these budget cuts, I'm gonna say this myself right now, but I mean, and just to add on to this, I want to add on to as well that, of course, a year ago there was a mentioning about WWE selling to NBC, them going ahead and giving these budget cuts is to lower the price value of the WWE, of what the net worth, what it's worth, of what we've been reading about that has been saying that this is why Nick Khan and other executives are now part of board of directors. Nick Khan was brought to this because to set up a great deal for NBC to purchase WWE. And that's rumor your window, ladies and gentlemen. We're not here to provide facts. We're giving you our opinions of what we hear. It's a rumor your window that Nick Khan pretty much is setting in within the next 4 years or less for WWE to be sold. The net worth to be sold will be probably $4 to $7 billion of WWE to be sold to NBC, meaning that there's the era of the McMahon will be officially over. Vince McMahon will walk away with that much amount of money and retire. But we don't know what's the question for Paul Levesque, Stephanie, the rest of the board of directors who are involved. We don't know what's going to happen. And to top it all off, Nick Khan just bought a fucking house here in Los Angeles and he's for $8 million. Yes, $8 million. Well, like, what the fuck? How the fuck were you able to buy a house here, another house? And because of all these budget cuts, that looks like he's the one behind all this. And Vince's, I don't know what's going through Vince's mind, if he's approving it or not. I have no idea. But all I can say is, I'm going to start first to digress about this. If this is the end of the McMahon era, I want to say thank you. You've done like how anybody else, and I'm going to say it as well. There is no other best promoter than Vince McMahon, and he was and is the best promoter because he knows how to market his product. He knows how to put his product out there to comparing to AEW, to Ring of Honor, to other promotions. I'm sorry to say that, folks, but it's the truth. Because Vince McMahon knows how to remarket his product internationally and knows where to aim it and knows how to attract his product to who and to the whole world. But if this becomes in fruition within the next 4 years or less, Vince McMahon, thank you very much for giving us a platform, for giving us professional wrestling. I'm not gonna say sports entertainment. Yes, okay, a little bit, but I'm not gonna say sports entertainment fully. Entertainment towards the Attitude Era, yes, towards the Golden Era, yes, yeah, fine. But thank you for giving us WWE of what you've given for the last, I don't know what, for over 50 years. Thank you so much. And if Vince McMahon, if you are selling this, shame on you, man. Shame on you. What have you done? But now, because these talents that you just let go, we'll get into after where they should go. But I want to hear the rest of, obviously, hear my brothers, their thoughts about all this situation. We'll get into where will they fit. But let's just start with this first. Yeah, see, even the dog's upset. Like, I am going to start it off with Matt Callis. Your thoughts?
Okay, so all this talent that was let go, you know, I think the same thing with the last. I'll call these kind of what they are, guys. Are you guys afraid to say this with me, or do you guys agree with this term with me?
Go for it.
Purges.
Wait, what? Say it again.
Purge. Purge.
Purge. Like the purge.
I'll say these are like purges, more or less. And the last purge, you know, we haven't seen Samoa Joe turn up in any promotion yet. I still have my fingers crossed just because of the great matches we could get out of him. But you know, with these new talents, I think they will enrich the world outside of WWE. Because like, it's almost like I know our good friend, who's part of Joe Fo in the Ring was comparing WWE to the Catholic Church. I was comparing it to another country. Some people, I wouldn't go so far as call it a prison, but I'll maybe compare it to maybe like the Disney Channel, or you know, I'll compare it. I'd say it's more likely the Disney Channel, or you know, because they have words they can't say. They have a certain way you have to present yourself. There's a certain way you have to dress and act, and you know, even when you worked as like a cast member, you can't say employee at Disneyland. You have to say cast member. You know, it's not wrestler, it's sports entertainer. You know, then you leave that world and then you're an employee again. You leave that world, you're a wrestler again. You leave that world. So it's like, for some of them, it's like being able to breathe again. So if anything, I think the outer wrestling world will get to breathe again, and not just breathe, but kind of enrich. Because I'll say, you know, let's change our impression of what some of the other companies are like, because they're doing well financially, because Impact is owned by Mark Cuban now because of the parent company that owns them. And then Ring of Honor, they're getting money from I forgot the name of the company, the big company, the something media. I forget the name. The people that own Ring of Honor are doing okay with cash. So, you know, just how much. So then of course your AAA, and then your CMLL, and your New Japan, and then I won't stop saying Noah, and then of course I'll ML. I don't know how well MLW is doing with money, or how well you get paid when you work over there. I mean, I hope Jacob Fatu is making enough to provide for his family working for them, you know, or how much the people on the lower card make. But I just hope the outer wrestling world is enough for all the wrestlers who left to support their families. We already know AEW, you could support a family on their money. You know, we already know for sure. Impact, I don't know their figures. New Japan, I'll say so if you're working with them always. Noah, I don't know enough about their money. I mean, they've got enough money to hire the biggest pop star in Japan, to do commentary for them. So hell, why not? But you know, the list goes on and on. But best of luck, and I really hope you guys could all, you know, not only take care of your families, but pay for your dreams, pay your bills, pay your car, you know, and all that stuff. Because I want to be able to be paid to do what I love. And I know the Blue Meanie said at one time, when the only wrestling company was WWE, it's like the only record. If you were in a rock band and played guitar, and the only record label is WWE, you know, imagine that. You know, that's kind of like a tough thing. You know, it's comparable to like Universal Music and WWE. You know, so something.
But let me ask you this though, like, but what about the sale of WWE? Do you think that will be happening because of all this? Do you feel that is that where it's leading to? And if it's so, what do you think that NBC will do with WWE?
I think they might keep it around. You know, I don't know I didn't even know there was a Nick Khan involved until Tony Khan mentioned him. I'm like, what?
The con artist from Connecticut.
It's like this is I'm a big history buff, and there was a time when the Khans fought each other during the time of Genghis Khan. It was like his grandsons, like Chagadai Khan, Kublai Khan, you know, the Golden Horde, you know.
Don't forget about Chaka Khan.
Chaka Khan.
Yes, sir.
Chaka Khan. Through the wire, through the limit, through the wall. Yeah, man. For a chance to be with you, I'd gladly risk it all. So for a chance to be with AEW, you'd gladly risk it all. Just like Shaka Khan and Tony Khan. Maybe that's what she could sing. Like Shaka Khan could greet you at the gates of AEW, and she sings Through the Wire. And the Wire's WWE.
Sing it, Matt.
Through the limit, through the wall. That's so high pitch.
Falsetto.
I'd gladly risk it all. Gladly risk it all to get to AEW.
I love it.
Goodness gracious me.
Here we go. Money Mike had a lot to say on so. Here we go, because we're gonna hear Money Mike to hear now, because he was waiting for this. He was anticipating. He's like, I need to talk about this shit.
Oh yes, yes indeed. What a pile of poop this whole thing has been. My goodness. Okay. Mismanagement. I think so. Yeah. You know, you have your talent that you could have used in much, much better ways, and you're letting them go because you yourself weren't able to have something for them. And in the case of Aleister Black, you had something for him, and he was clearly going to be on television, and clearly he was going to be in the title picture, the Intercontinental title picture, and you pull the rug right under him. Okay, yes, all that. I will say that credit where credit is due. Each of these individuals, with maybe the exception of Santana Garrett, slightly, each of these individuals has now the advantage of saying, well, I used to be a WWE superstar, right? I have that experience under my belt. I have had that exposure, worldwide exposure, right? So in that sense, I think that that's something great that they can use moving forward into their future endeavors, right? It's unfortunate that we didn't get to see. And honestly, I feel Ruby Riott should have been a tag team champion. It's a real shame that her and Liv Morgan were not able to capture those titles. They jobbed out Ruby Riott. I still remember the whole Ronda Rousey time. On a weekly basis, they were getting beat up by Ronda Rousey, and I was like, man, that's that sucks, but yeah, I do not wish that anybody loses their job, right? Absolutely not. Nobody is born knowing how to wrestle. Each of these people started from day one learning how to do this art, this craft of storytelling in the ring, and all that the effort they take, all the bumps and stuff, and the physicality that it requires. Whew, I'm getting all worked up here because as a musician, as an artist,
get worked up, brother. Get worked up.
I'm hulking up. My shirt is ripping for some reason. Yeah, it's just as someone that has an art background, I know the time, the practice that it takes to get good at something, right? And yes, these people deserve to find a new place. And okay, let's go with it, right? NBC WWE merger. I do believe it's a good time. Had this happened 20 years ago, maybe not so much, but I feel that Vince McMahon has less years in front of him than behind. And I'm not talking about in his life. I'm talking about professionally in wrestling. I feel he took wrestling to where it is today, and his contributions are not questioned by any means. However, there have been some questionable things that have happened, especially lately, as far as managing the shows here, weekly shows, especially with Raw. And again, I'm not in there. I'm not backstage at Raw. I don't know what's going on. I'm just, opinionating on what I hear. And, hearing all these things like, oh, he rips up the script of Raw moments before they go on the air, and he just comes up with something on the fly for everybody. that is not a way to run a show, in my opinion. My humble opinion. That is really not the way to work professionally on a show. I think that every show needs a plan that has been set weeks, maybe even years ahead of time. And maybe, just maybe, NBC can do a great job with it. Now, I'm almost done. I cannot. I will kick myself in the face if I don't mention this. That my prediction, and I'll say this right now, NBC is not going to know what to do with WWE in the long run. Tony Khan will buy WWE from NBC. You heard it here first.
That is a bold, very bold statement, ladies and gentlemen. If that does happen, I'll be out of words. I will be utterly out of words.
Because in this podcast, we don't just make podcasts, we make history.
He dropped the mic, ladies and gentlemen. Matt Callis, what do you have to say for that?
Very true. So many different ways. You know, we don't, and you know, it's part of that next level consciousness, and all others
next level.
And those who disagree are really just ants coming from insects, coming from the hive. And we're gods amongst insects.
That's right. Wow.
We've been planning this the whole time.
You've been planning it the whole time? That's your plan?
This does sound like a Don Callis kind of plan. The invisible hand is working things around here.
No, it makes me feel like more like a conspiracy theorist here. What about a fucking Vince McMahon and Nick Khan we're having a meeting. Hey, pal. I think we're still to NBC, pal. You can buy it later on. It'll be hella cheaper.
I got to say the Stamford Stooges are doing very Stooge-like actions, of course. Very Stooge-like, you know, insect-like. They're just for the next meal. The feed.
Oh. I must agree, Don. Yes.
I don't know. I just don't understand if that's the route they're going with. If so, then I will keep Paul Levesque under your wing and let him control everything. And I think if they allow him to go ahead and have the freedom and control and does what he needs to do with the main roster and NXT overall, because remind you, it's including that package, NXT as well. Unless Paul Levesque, hell no, let's split it.
I have to say, I challenged Paul Levesque to a game of 18-hole golf. I'll destroy you in golf, Paul Levesque. You don't have any game, and I'll put up WWE on that. I could whoop you at golf any week.
Yeah, he's gonna whoop that ass right there.
But I mean, think about that. Go ahead, Mike. Go ahead.
No, I'll end with this topic. That I go back, search the Circle of Debate archives. I saw this coming. I told you. It wasn't a prediction. It was a spoiler. You know, freaking Disney bought Star Wars, Marvel. You know, all that good stuff. MGM was bought by Amazon. Mergers happen. Companies bigger than WWE have been bought off. So WWE is not invincible. Fox, my goodness, what a historic merger that was.
Yeah, Fox was bought out from Disney, and Disney owns ESPN, and they own Undisputed. What about that?
You know, bigger companies than WWE have been bought off. NBC has been part of mergers with Comcast and Universal. It's happened. WWE is not as big as us wrestling fans have been conditioned to think about it. Vince McMahon might sell.
Yeah. You don't forget to mention T-Mobile bought Sprint, so there you go, and Metro PCS, so there you go.
And Metro Pizza, yeah.
Pizza,
Of course.
it bought all of it, but there's one thing it'll never buy is all the belts that we have in our collection.
Yeah, that's right, Don. That's right.
So now with all these releases, the one thing I am really gonna digress is the fact that I hate that they fucking have a 90-day clause. It's like that should not be there. It's like you're not fucking paying them. You just let them go, but you're gonna make them.
Yeah, aren't they paid during those 90 days? Their regular salary?
Not that I know of.
At least that's what I heard.
That's
rumor in your window, folks.
That's rumor in your window, but
I'll say one good thing that does come from that, though, is that their bodies do have a time to rest and recover, because wrestlers should, like they need that break, and injuries take their toll. So, it's always good to have that break,
What the fuck? I mean, shit, you barely... Okay.
The money, they need the money.
Okay, I know. All right. So now let's end. Now with this topic is ended. Where will these individuals fit? So I will say it right now what I feel. Buddy Murphy, the Impact will fit perfectly. Ruby Riott will fit anywhere in either AEW, NWA, or Ring of Honor, or even an Impact. She'll fit anywhere. The same with Lana. Lana can go to either one as well. Go be Miro's manager, but we don't want to see that. I mean, don't do something repetitive what you've done before in your current employer. Nah, do something different. Braun Strowman, that's a tough one. I think he could be an asset to AEW, because remind you that Braun Strowman is a WWE talent, not an indie independent circuit professional wrestler. He was created in WWE, in the Performance Center. He was a strongman, a bodybuilder strongman competition, but he was never, ever, ever in his life done what you would call it, professional independent promotions. He never done it, so never at all. But I think Braun is probably going to be an asset of AEW. I don't see Impact, maybe Impact. And then Aleister Black. He can go to anywhere he wants. He'll fit perfect in New Japan. He'll fit perfect in AEW. He'll give anywhere. Tommy End can fit anywhere. He can even go back to the indie scenes if he wants to and make tons of money because he's that damn good. So I wish you all the best of luck. And wherever you land, I will be watching. We'll all be watching and hoping you guys succeed outside of WWE, which you will. You definitely will. So, Money Mike, talk to me.
Okay. I'll start with Santana Garrett. Santana Garrett, I see her going to Impact. I don't know too much about her career at this point, but from what I've seen and the little bit I saw from the Royal Rumble, I do feel that she could fit into Impact. Let's see. Liv Morgan, I see her going to AEW. I definitely think she has definitely the skill set to be a great addition to the division there. Imagine a Ruby Riott versus Thunder Rosa match, or Ruby Riott versus Britt Baker or Serena Deeb, right? I think that could be a solid addition to their roster. Let's see, Buddy Murphy, I see him going to AEW. Yes, I definitely think that he could be a good fit there. His style of wrestling, I feel, would mesh well with some of the competitors there. Let's see who else. Lana, I feel she's going to AEW. I feel she's going with Miro, and you know what? After everything, honestly, and I'm gonna call it that. After all the bullying she went through in WWE, I think she deserves to get a good run in AEW. I really think so. You know, with Mira or in the women's division, I feel that, you know, she. It's not like she can't wrestle.
No, she can't. She improved a lot. If you notice that, she's gone every day to go to Natalia's home and work on her with TJ Wilson as well to improve on her in-ring abilities, and she's done that and a fantastic job. I'm not disregarding her at all.
If I'm Tony Khan and I see somebody, if I'm any boss and I see somebody with that amount of dedication to improve, I am picking up that person. That's right, Captain. That is right.
You heard him.
Yes. He wholeheartedly agrees. Let's see. Who else? Who am I missing here? Aleister Black. Aleister Black. He could go well with either Impact or maybe even Ring of Honor.
Oh my God, yeah, too.
Yeah, I could definitely see him in Ring of Honor.
Anywhere he could fit, man. I think he has the you know, yeah, see, he even agrees with you. Anywhere he can fit. See, he said, let's go. That's right. He can fit anywhere. I think Aleister fits in any promotion perfectly well if you allow him to be where he needs to be. And I think he can do it. I definitely could pull it off, man. I seen him in PWG. Like, I seen, like, he competed in Bola. If you go back, oh, my God. This motherfucker is insane in the ring, man. For him, he could, top hands can be anywhere. Yeah. Name it. I don't care. It doesn't bother me. If he'll help develop anywhere, he get wherever he goes.
And as for Braun Strowman, I see him in Impact. I definitely see him there. If anything, I feel Impact needs him more. Why, you ask? Because somebody's got to take that title, the Impact title, away from Kenny Omega. And at this point, I feel if Braun goes to Impact, he's the guy to get those titles away from Kenny Omega.
You're about to get Matt Callis mad right now.
However, and I'll end it with this: that if Braun goes to AEW, he will be able to kind of round off everything that Tony Khan is building there. In what way? You have Big Show and Mark Henry, two big guys as coaches, but you're gonna have Braun Strowman kind of showing more in-ring things going on and during matches too. He's going to be able to really round off what the coaches are teaching in ring. So, you know, I think that could be a great addition.
I like that. The God amongst insects.
No, I agree with Mike about Braun Strowman because I think they need somebody. They need somebody who can somebody like Braun Strowman to kind of like, because we haven't really seen Braun Strowman show what he wants to do. Because when you're in WWE, they restrict you so much. Like, think about how different Moxley is in AEW compared to WWE. You know, look at how much they restricted him from doing what he wants to do and being who he wants to be. You know, when he finally got to show who he wants to be. When some people are better, I think this is just going to show how much better you are when you don't have the shackles of WWE holding you down from being who you want to be as a wrestler. You know, so I think Braun Strowman proving himself, because all the comments are reacting to Braun Strowman's like, oh, leave Braun Strowman shouldn't come to AEW. He's not that great. Blah 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 blah. But what they don't understand is that you really haven't seen them at their full potential. Like, all these different people you're going to get to see who they want to be. And that's really the best thing of all. You know, some companies will hold you back a little bit more, but others will not only let you blossom, but let you do what you want to do. You know, give you probably the most control. Like, I got to know how, like, if I was a wrestler, I got to know where I would want to be and kind of what I'm allowed to do. Like, if you're in Ring of Honor and you're one of these people, you might be getting that world title just because you'd be the biggest name in that organization. So, you know, the big fish in a small pond, you know, generally speaking. Aleister Black, I want to see him anywhere but Impact, because I think Aleister could his gimmick is really cool, and it would be kind of an interesting difference. It would be so different from everything that New Japan has going on. It's a very different from everything just nearly all promotions right now. I mean, there are like dark gimmicks, but he's really, his gimmick's really tried and true. It's tested, and people like it. And it's like heavy metal, dark, evil, cool. So I want to see that everywhere except Impact, just because I want to see how he is on that big stage. But once again, it's the shackles off factor of you getting to be who you want to be.
I agree with that 100%. I feel that the way I feel is that I think talent should look at where they can fit perfectly well, where will they be utilized. And I think that's where they should really focus of what promotion will utilize them based on their character besides their physique. But also look at the character and the charisma of where they're able to fit on that product and how they're able to develop and excel that product to its potential of where it's already at, but you want to excel it more. You get what I'm saying? So I feel that each individual, each talent has that mentality when they're in talks with promotions. Hey, well, we got this, we got that. Well, okay. You look at the roster. You look what the product, what they present. Presentation over everything overall. In order for you to be okay, this is where I'm going to go to them, because I know if they do this type of product of what I'm seeking to do, then I'll add more, flames to the fire. So I feel that talent probably should focus on, or I'm not here to to tell them what to do, but that's just an opinion. But if they feel, I feel that maybe they have a mentality. If they don't, I would probably suggest that mentality. Look at the product, the current products in each promotion. Where do you feel that you fit, and what can you do to make that product to deliver more of where it stands for? So that's how I feel about it. That's how I feel. So, ladies and gentlemen, yes, before no NXT today, but we do have three things we want to go ahead and just close the show tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Do not forget as well, I wanted to mention Dominion coming up because they moved it. Dominion is on Monday, June 7th. Do not forget to catch that on New Japan World as well. That's right. Then the announcement says the vacated IWGP World Heavyweight title is vacated. You have, of course, I said it last week, Matt, and Mike, you heard me. I said it's Shingo Takagi and Okada. Now they're going to fight for the undisputed IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. And also we got the return of Desperado defending his IWGP Junior World Heavyweight Championship versus Yo, which I'm looking forward to. And another one as well that another match looking forward for in that card is Kota Ibushi versus Jeff Cobb, the Islander. And that's going to be 3 incredible matches and much more. Make sure you watch that on New Japan World as well. I'm telling you, they're bringing the good shit. They're bringing it to the New Japan World. Even though they're facing crisis because of the state of emergency in Japan, they're going through a lot of things right now. They're trying as much as possible to get going, but it's difficult for Japan, the state of Japan. Remind you, Japan is almost like LA, California here, man. It's like every different city. It looks small, but shit, it ain't small. I'll tell you that. It's a huge city all over Japan. Have different counties, different cities. So, Matt Callis, what are you looking forward for this pay-per-view? Who do you think will become the new IWGP World Heavyweight Champion? I say Shingo.
I want to go for Shingo too, because he's I don't know how well he's recovered from that slip disc. If I was Okada, I'd probably want to recover more. I don't want to be a champion and be injured the entire time. So, let Okada get a great match out of this and then give him his time to rest and then elevate Shingo while we're at it. Because Shingo has been he's a multiple-time Dragon Gate champion. Shingo is a multiple-time Dragon Gate champion. If he could be a great Dragon Gate champion, he could be great New Japan IWGP World Heavyweight Champion. So I actually agree with that. Let's elevate some new talent. Put him in the title picture. He's more than earned it. You deserve it. The second champion from Los Ingobernables de Japón. Evil doesn't count since he betrayed them. So
True, but I wanted Sonata, damn it. It's my boy, Sonata. He should have been a champion too. But
student of the great Muda, and that actually brings me. I'm really surprised that that's June 7th, because June 6th, the day before, is New Japan's biggest rival, Pro Wrestling Noah, with the Cyber Fight Festival.
that is right, ladies and gentlemen. So Matt Callis will be doing a recap of that. So I'm gonna let him take the floor on this one. Let the people know what they should expect on Pro Wrestling Noah's upcoming event, Cyber Fest. Talk to them, David.
So here, Cyber Fight Festival 2021 is June 6th. There's 3 different main events with 3 different world championships of the organizations. So that's for DDT. That's the wrestling company Kenny Omega started in, where Kenny Omega met Kota Ibushi, where they both came from, and that's DDT. And the DDT top championship is the KOD Openweight Championship. That's their top title, their number 1, and that's Jun Akiyama versus Harashima. You know, and this is serious wrestling. It's not, it's not really. Despite them having a lot of comedy stuff going on in DDT, it's not a majority of what they do. They do great wrestling at DDT Wrestling. So this is going to be a match to see. So Jun Akiyama versus Harashima. The next match is somebody that we're familiar with in AEW. It's Yuka Sakazaki, of course, our genie girl, our magical girl. Who she still needs to get her tooth back from Britt Baker. Britt Baker needs to send her teeth back to her because she knocked out a couple of them. But Yuka Sakazaki is challenging Miyu Yamashita. For those not familiar with her, Miyu Yamashita is like the Asuka of Tokyo Joshi Pro. She's one of Maki Ito's main rivals and her tag team partner as well. And basically, Yuka Sakazaki and Miyu Yamashita are like the Okada and Tanahashi, or the Stone Cold Steve Austin and Rock of Tokyo Joshi Pro. They've been the top 2 aces of that company for so long, and we're gonna see a barn burner between these two. Miyu's got kicks for days, and according to Maki Ito, she's got a chin that could be eaten. So,
whoa.
A big chin, and Maki Ito's like, I'm gonna eat your chin. And even what's his name makes fun of it. Even Chris Brooks makes fun of it. Chris Brooks has like a 6-man tag match he's in earlier in the card, and Saki Sama, she's in the battle royale, and they have an intergender battle royale with a lot of different people. The only person I'm familiar with in that intergender battle royale is Saki Akai, and she used to be the heavy metal weight champion for DDT, and she debuted at the same time as Hikaru Shida. And now let me get to the very top of the Cyber Fight Festival card, and that is Keiji Muto defending his GHC Heavyweight Championship against Naomichi Marufuji.
That's the match that I'm looking forward to see.
Big one. I gotta say, everybody should watch. And Keiji Muto, be on the lookout, you guys. Kenny and Keiji might be facing each other a lot sooner than later. Don't forget, Impact has a partnership with Pro Wrestling Noah, and Keiji Muto said he wants to defend his title in the United States against American wrestlers. So what Kenny's looking to collect another belt, and that's a dream match waiting to happen. The Great Muta, Keiji Muto versus Kenny Omega. Keiji Muto's 61, and not only does he still got it, he is the ace. He's the top of Pro Wrestling Noah. But he's got an obstacle in the way, and that's Naomichi Marufuji, the king of kicking, the inventor of the high-action, high-spot heavy style of today, that Odo martial arts, kicks, backflips. He is the Stone Cold Steve Austin to Kenta's Rock. That's who Marufuji is.
Wow. I love that. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. So keep an eye on that. On June 6th, keep an eye on that. And where can they locate this pay-per-view, Matt Callis?
It is on Wrestle Universe. And they have both available in Japanese commentary and English commentary. So subscribe to Wrestle Universe. There's even a video where Maki Ito sponsors Watch Wrestle Universe. And if you don't subscribe to Wrestle Universe, go to hell. Watch Wrestle Universe fucking forever.
I love it. I love it. And of course, another event, June 6th. Don't forget NWA. That is our Shadows Fall right on Fight TV. Make sure you tune in on June the 6th, 1 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, 4 o'clock Eastern Time on Fight TV. Make sure you purchase that pay-per-view, ladies and gentlemen. A stat card as well. We have, of course, we do have a Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match. You have The End, Mecha Wolf, Best that says, and also you have Rocket Slice Boogie and Kinaro and Rudo, Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match. And also you have Tyrus. Team Tyrus, Mike, you're familiar with Tyrus, right? Call him my mama, yes, versus a Pope. And also you have JTG versus Fred Roser. That's another one I'm really interested in seeing. Like, okay, that's a match I want to see. Thunder Rosa and Melina teaming up versus, of course, Taryn Carell and the return of Kylie Ray. So that's another, I'm looking forward to seeing that. And of course, you have the NWA Tag Team Championships being on the line. And that's, of course, Aaron Stevens, formerly known as Miss Dow, Sandow, and JR Kratos from Team Filthy defending their tag team championship in a triple threat, a 3-way tag team championship match versus the War Kings, and also Latimer and Chris Adonis, which of course is known as Chris Masters. We have the NWA Women's Championship. This is another one that I'm looking forward to. That is Serena Deeb defending the NWA Women's Championship versus Camille Brickhouse. I think we know where that's going. And then the main event as well as the 13 pounds of gold, the NWA World Heavyweight Championship, the National Treasure. Nick Aldis will be defending the NWA World Heavyweight title versus an upcoming star that I've loved. Not upcoming star, but he's a star himself already in the making, and I'm very intrigued to seeing Trevor Murdoch. Can he take that belt away from this National Treasure? So I know that Matt Callis and Money Mike is looking forward for this card. What are your thoughts about this card, Matt Callis?
War Kings, please. I want the War Kings to win. And I'm really excited for Kylie Ray. And shout out again to Slice Boogie. We're seeing one of our boys on there. So we're cheering for him as well. I'm cheering for Slice Boogie. I'm cheering for the War Kings. And, Camille versus Serena Deeb is going to be a good match. I hope they have a really, long, violent match with lots of crazy high spots. I don't want Serena Deeb's great, Camille's great. I want to see them show the magic. Because so far, maybe they got to compete with the women on the other side of the ocean. Because this other match might get match of the year. Julia versus Tam Nakano in Stardom. That match, and that was at the Budokan. And that match is getting votes for match of the year because all the crazy high spots, freaking pile drivers, Tiger Driver
98
through the table. I'm serious. Those are they had 3 Tiger Drivers through the table in that match. Tiger Drivers. That's
Mike Driver.
Mike.
I'm sorry. I was just waiting for Mike to respond.
Truck drivers.
What?
He said truck drivers. Truck drivers?
Oh, truck drivers. Baby driver.
I was waiting for Matt's response. You have to go first, Matt.
Wait,
you have to wait.
So when is this again?
This is June 6th. Saturday on Fight TV.
Really?
Yes. Circle Debate has the Fight TV, so you're able to watch it, purchase it. There you go.
Ah, interesting. Uh-huh. Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to that Melina and Thunder Rosa teaming up, right? Yeah. I'm actually looking forward to that. Never thought that would happen.
Oh, you're gonna love it.
Bestia, I remember Bestia 666 from and Mecha Wolf from AAA, right? They're from AAA, not CMLL. Yeah, this is so cool. You know, that match is gonna be really cool to see. I like people with really cool different gimmicks because I know Bestia doesn't take the mask off. That's why I love. If you look that cool, I don't want to see you take the mask off. That's why I kind of wish Tommaso Ciampa kept his mask on because it looks cool. You know.
Oh man, I'm looking forward to this card. This card is gonna be stacked, man. I think Murdoch and Aldis is gonna be a great main event as well. I mean, people underestimate Trevor Murdoch. He's really, really extremely talented in the ring. I mean, I can't wait to see that match as well. And Serena and Camille, I think that's another one that I'm really intrigued of how if they give the belt to Camille, I will be shocked. I'm gonna tell you that right now. But well deserved though. Why not? Because now could we see Camille AEW? Camille and Jade Cargill? Book it, damn it. I've been waiting for that already. 2 powerhouse women's. But no, it's too soon.
Well, it could happen a lot sooner than later. I'll say that. I mean, remember, doors are open. That title's defended on AEW television. Let's see NWA titles come.
I need to see Money Mike be Jade Cargill's manager. I think Money Mike knows how to make her the money.
Of course. Wherever Mike goes, that's where the money is, for sure.
But in reality, unfortunately, sorry, Mike, Jazz is the real manager for her.
That's all I'm going to say.
Jofo in the ring. You know, they said it.
Oh, yeah. No, all credit to Jofo for that tremendous idea. Absolutely. That would be a much, much better fitting manager than the guy that she has now.
Smart Mark from Major League Wrestling Podcast.
Yeah.
It's the major. Yeah, okay. I'm not going to get into it. But there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for tuning in here, episode 57. We digress everything we need to digress. But there's a lot more coming in episode 58 because next week we're going to go over the card because there's another weekend of. This is why we love professional wrestling, ladies and gentlemen, because not just one promotion. There's so many that we love. Jesus Christ, I'm even losing my voice because of that. But we have 2 coming up, and which is we will be covering next week, which is we have first pay-per-view Impact Against All Odds on June 12th. That's right. We will be covering the card for that, giving our predictions for that card, which obviously the main event for that is Moose versus by God Kenny Omega. Then you have the next day on June 13th, which will be NXT TakeOver in your house. Yes, we do apologize, ladies and gentlemen. We're on a time frame. We did not have enough time to cover NXT. So this is only a 1-part episode. Yeah, he got mad about it too. He's like, oh, I'm sorry, man. But there's not enough coverage. We'll cover that next Friday for sure. We'll cover that. But yes, NXT in your house. That's another full card coming up as well. Another stacked. So we are looking forward to discuss those 2 major cards for this upcoming next weekend. And we'll also give our afterthoughts of Dominion, New Japan, and NWA's, The Shadows Fall. We'll give that. And much more in case of more pro wrestling news. I also wanted to go ahead and thank our audio subscribers and our YouTube listeners and, our viewers, subscribers. Everybody who is listening on our audio platforms, thank you very much here from Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Podbean, Breaker, Google Podcasts. Man, thank you so much for support. Shout out to, of course, international around the world, India, who are listening to us. And also shout out to the United Kingdom for listening to us, Switzerland, Germany, sprechen die Deutsch. Mike knows how to speak very, very well.
Alles unsere Freunde von Deutschland, wir lieben sie, wir lieben alles du und danke, wir hören sie Circle of Debate. Vielen Dank, guten Abend, danke.
There you go. You heard it right there, ladies and gentlemen. Mike is a very fluent German. So there you have it. And also, once again, want to thank everyone for also tuning in as well here on the YouTube channel. We appreciate you very much. We have a lot of upcoming news coming, but Like I said, you got to keep following us on our social media platforms. The link tree is right below where you can follow us. Gives you everything what you want to go ahead and check out on our social media platforms. And wanted to go ahead and don't forget as well, which I forgot to mention two things. One thing, right, as well, very briefly. Yes, don't forget our top 5 coming up for week 57 here this Sunday. It will be top 5 best heel turns. I'm looking forward to that's going to be a nice one. I'm looking forward to speak about that one.
Yes, top 5 heel turns. Yes.
Yes, sir. And also, do not forget as well, June 12th, ladies and gentlemen, we will be, make sure you follow us on our Instagram and our Twitter. We will be discussing it on Facebook. June 12th, we're having a crossover. The Circle Debate, teaming up. It's the mega powers of the League of Extraordinary Podcasts. It's the Circle Debate and the Dirty Heels Podcast teaming up as we're going to compete in a trivia game versus the podcasters in India. It is India versus USA, and we will be on WrestleFanatic YouTube channel live. That will happen on Saturday, June 12th, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, noon Eastern Time, because we're competing on their time at nighttime because it's like 9:30 at night at their time. So it's going to be a big competition. We got the mega powers coming together, competing with the other podcasters on this wonderful trivia tournament. So that description will be on our social media platforms. Make sure you follow that. I will put that on the upcoming episode for the top 5 description right below, where you could follow that YouTube channel and see it live, because it's going to be live in India time, and we're going to be on their time and here in our time as well. So once again, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in for episode 57 here on Circle of Debate. This is the host of Devious One, Ivan C, with, of course, the manager of the managers, because he's the calluses of calluses, because he knows how to manage this individual. And that is, of course, he is the master disaster, the king of Sting, the man with the plan, who is the, by God. Say it, Matt. What is he?
The god of podcasting. All others are shadow, are insects in the shadow of Mike Lopez.
That is right. And because his manager here, of course, the manager here that's managing a great podcaster he's managing here, he is the god of podcasting. Sorry, Tribal Chief, but compared to the god of podcasting, Money Mike Lopez, I don't know. You can beat if he could overthrow that, man. Sorry, bro.
I'll say this: I have a Mike versus the wrestling guy show weekly. You want to come on down? Tribal Chief versus the god of wrestling or podcasting? Come on down. Invitation.
That is right, because we do also that. Thank you, Mike, for reminding me about that. So we're gonna see another one tomorrow. We are gonna see. I hope so, depending on Mike. Or we're gonna see. Oh, there you go. We're gonna have another one, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. The god of podcasting, Money Mike, versus the wrestling guy, David Gomez. That's another weekly episodes that you'll be seeing. It's AEW versus WWE, and I love it because these two always kill it, man. I love when they collide. It's too much comedy for me. And for our audio platform listeners, we will be uploading them soon on the audio platforms. But if you want to see it, you have to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Go to our YouTube, subscribe, so you can watch that debate between the god of podcasting, Money Mike Lopez, and the wrestling guy story. Make sure you tune into that. And also one more last thing. This next week as well, Matt Callis will be go ahead and giving his recap once again for Cyberfest as well. He's been going solo this week on that. He's going to give his recap on that pay-per-view to acknowledge the people, because he will answer all your 69 questions, because he's the
69 reasons why. And don't forget, I'm a licensed helicopter captain, helicopter pilot in Canada. Don't forget. No, you just can't show it on American TVs because I'm only licensed in Canada, of course.
And on that note, I'm going to go ahead and give Mike first and then Matt to end it. Once again, thank you so much. the god of podcasting, let the people know.
Because we don't make podcasts here. We make history. Tell them, Matt.
It's part of that next level consciousness. We do make history. And it's all part of the plan. 27 years in the making.
And to quote Money Mike, we will see you guys on the next one.